Hello, this is D, and I'm back with another video. And today I have some very interesting news regarding Microsoft and the Xbox's consoles future, and I should say the future where it's concerned to games. Now, today a Bloomberg interview went out with Xbox chief Phil Spencer, and he talked about the handheld that I had on yesterday's video. Now, unfortunately, he's confirming that it is years out. Now, in yesterday's video, I told you that I did not know a timetable for when the console was going to be released. I said it's going to be sooner than later. And if I had to go on a limb, I would say that the game show that Microsoft would announce it and release it in 2025. Now, he said it's a couple of years out, so that kind of links it to the next generation console from Microsoft. Now, if it's coming out in 2026, it's going to come up with the next generation console. I think it's going to be a situation where they'll have two different consoles again. So they'll have a very capable Xbox console and they'll have the handheld. Now, the handheld is supposed to have cloud compute capabilities. It's also going to have machine learning AI. So it might bridge the gap from the bigger Xbox Series X to that console, allowing them to share the same ecosystem. Now, that's kind of really far out. That's not what you guys came here to hear about today. You guys came to hear about Microsoft talking about there are no red lines over what Xbox games could come to PlayStation. Now, a lot of gamers have got on me. They've been saying, why are you so negative against Xbox? Oh, you're taking your ball and you're going home. Why are you playing your games on PC? Microsoft is not going to put these games on all platforms. It's only going to be certain games. Halo, Gears, Forza, those games will never see the day of light on the PlayStation. And I just didn't believe that, especially when Indiana Jones came over to the PlayStation. Now, Indiana Jones is coming out on Game Pass, and that's a big bonus for Game Pass subscribers. However, it coming out on the PlayStation, I really do believe it affects the sales of that game, because some people that do have both consoles or have a PlayStation only might not go out now and purchase an Xbox console because that game is coming to their platform. So I just don't think it's a good strategy. Now, overall, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Microsoft putting their games on everything, they will make a lot of money. That is for sure. And the player base for those games will increase. I'm not doubting that, but that comes at the cost of the console. And all you guys out there saying, oh, it doesn't matter. It does matter if you like the console. Now, Microsoft, to me, honestly, right now, they are a third-party company. They're trying to figure it out how to bring their games to every single platform. They're saying to Xbox owners, listen, we're going to continue with the Game Pass service. All of our games will be day and date in the Game Pass service. And this is the Xbox experience. You can do this on our consoles. You can do this on PC. You can do this on Fire Stick. You can do it via your Samsung television. So they don't really care where you play the games. And I will say that Game Pass is an awesome service. I think it's the best value in gaming by far. And we're getting some real bangers in that service right now. So that can't be denied. But it's once again going to come at the cost of the Xbox console. Why would I play on my Xbox console anymore when I have a high-end PC, when all of the Xbox games are going there day and date? It just doesn't make sense. If I have a PlayStation, why am I going to go out there and invest in an Xbox when these games are going to come to my platform? Sure, they may come 6 months, a year later, but they're still going to come to my platform. And I'm going to enjoy all of these games on my platform that aren't available on Xbox or other platforms. So for the console, I'm just being honest, I just don't think it really helps it at all. Now, Microsoft, they're still going to make a next generation console. I see some people saying, oh, that's it, they're done, they're not making a console. They are going to make a console, but they're going to be a third-party developer, a third-party company that also makes consoles. That's just my honest opinion. If you want a high-spec'd out console, they're going to offer you that. If you want a handheld console that will give you really good performance and can play the latest generation games, they're going to offer you that too. If you want the best of the best, you can play on PC. If you want to play on your handheld devices, etc. So they don't really care. And the strategy, it will make money. But once again, you know, being invested with this company for so many years and having Xbox console after Xbox console, being with the company through the good, through the bad, and just seeing that how they've abandoned the core console market, it's just a little frustrating. And that's why I'm just going to play my games on PC. And that's why I'm going to play my PlayStation 5 games on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, I said a whole lot, so let's just get into the article. Like usual, I'll leave a link in the description down below so you guys can check it out for yourself. And this is coming from Bloomberg.com, so you guys will be able to read it for yourself. Now, we're just going to go through the first little part here. And it goes, after a tough year, Microsoft Corporation video game chief is still looking at acquisitions and charting how to compete and partner in the markets for handheld game devices and mobile stores. So even after the ABK acquisition, they're still looking to purchase more companies. They're going to have a lot of bangers. They have the big titles. They have Call of Duty. The games that are coming out in Game Pass this season are really good. We have Indiana Jones. We have Stalker 2. We have Flight Simulator. Of course, Call of Duty Black Ops dropped day and date. So the service is great value. Hands down, they're doing a fantastic job with that service. And I think after the holiday season, you're going to see the Game Pass numbers have substantially increased. Now, I'm going to just go a little bit further into the article where they start to talk about the handheld. Now, the executive who repeatedly professed his admiration for handheld game devices said the expectation is that we would do something in that category. Although the company is working on prototypes and considering what it might do, Spencer also asked his group to look at the market and develop its vision based on what it learns. Such a device is a few years out, he said. So I guess they're playing around with some prototypes. They're seeing how the Rogue Ally performs in the real world, how consumers are buying it and what they like about it, and the same with the Steam Deck. So that's a little bit disappointing. But like I said earlier, I believe that they're probably going to launch this with the next generation Xbox console, and they're going to be linked somehow. So, it is what it is. We're going to have to wait a couple of years for a handheld Xbox device. Now, in yesterday's video, I was talking about how machine learning AI is going to be a thing for the PlayStation 5 Pro, and it's going to help them with the PlayStation 6 because they're going to have all of those models from the machine learning AI. And if Xbox released a handheld like next year that had machine learning on it, they could also use those models for their next generation console that will also have machine learning. So that's going to be a disadvantage for them in terms of machine learning AI data. I can honestly say that. So I'm disappointed on a tech level that it won't be out next year. And it doesn't really give Xbox fans anything to be excited for. It's going to be 2 years of looking at a lot of comparisons with the PlayStation 5 Pro and the Xbox Series X just not looking as good. Now, some people tell me, why do you compare the Xbox Series X with the PlayStation 5 Pro? It's not a mid-generation refresh. Microsoft themselves, Phil Spencer said it himself, that they made two consoles this generation. The Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X is their mid-generation refresh. So we are going to compare it to the PlayStation 5 Pro, and for at least the next 2 years, a lot of things are going to look and run better on that console. So it kind of is what it is. And the worst part of this article is when he talks about Xbox exclusives. So let's just get into that part. Now, he was talking about the web store, and they have to do a lot of work to get something unique that gamers will come and purchase games from Microsoft. Now, I got to be honest with you guys, their game store, it's not the best one. It's probably the worst one out of the bunch. Even their Xbox app, like, it runs pretty good, but it still doesn't compare to the other apps that are out there. It does not compare to Steam at all. So they do have to get this right, and this is an area of improvement that is definitely needed from Microsoft. Their apps on PC, just their apps in general, I think they need to get them a little bit better. So I'm glad that they're actually taking their time to really get something that is right the first time. Now, the article goes on to say, after releasing the first batch of Xbox games to Sony Corporation, PlayStation, and Nintendo, Spencer is pleased with the results. Microsoft will do more of that, he said, and won't rule out any game in Microsoft's stable. Now, they quote him, "I do not see any sort of red lines in our portfolio that say thou must not." He said it's too early to make any sort of decision in the next version of Halo. Now, that is just crazy. He mentions Halo, which is the holy grail of Xbox, man. If you are a day one Xbox fan, you have to feel some type of way with Phil saying that. It's unbelievable that he is saying it's too early to even rule out the next version of Halo. And we're hearing that the next version of Halo is going to be like some type of soft reboot. That's what I heard. I don't know for sure because the last story beats, a lot of people didn't really like it. It didn't jive with a lot of people. So it could be technically like a reboot. And if it is a reboot, it kind of would make sense to put it on the PlayStation because then they could jump right into it and enjoy the stories that we Xbox fans have enjoyed for years. So from a business standpoint, I understand that. Now, as a person that's been invested in the console, this is just like crazy. This is like Sony's top exclusives coming to the Xbox. It would be the same type of reaction. It's just something you would never expect, much less the president, the boss saying this. Now, Phil goes on to say that the Xbox business has never been more healthy. He talks about the growth in cloud and PC gaming as well as console usage. He says the business is performing right now, and I think that means more healthy future of hardware and games we build. So, like I said, they're not going to stop building hardware. They're still going to build it. And people will buy it if they want, the best Xbox experience that you can get from a console. Their games are going to go everywhere and their games are going to sell. So the business is going to sustain itself. You know, Game Pass is going to be there for the diehards, for the Xbox core, that you can take advantage of the ecosystem because Game Pass service is of great value. That's undeniable. And I think it is what it is. And I think everybody out there that's been coping needs to stop coping and needs to accept this. Now, everybody that was upset with me when I said that this was going to happen, that they were bringing too many games to the PlayStation platform, that they need to worry about the console and build up the console base, because if you have exclusive games that are only available on your console and they're good quality games, gamers will buy that system for that game because we are gamers and we want to play the games. So exclusives matter. But for Microsoft, sales matters more. And now we're hearing some reports from Tom Henderson that Halo, Doom, and Gears of War collaborations are coming to Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Now, this would mark the first time that some of these characters are on a PlayStation 5. There's no characters from Halo on PlayStation. There's no characters from Gears of War on PlayStation. So this could be a signal that these games are coming and starting to warm up the PlayStation audience to these characters and get them familiar and get them yearning for more of these characters. So it is what it is. We cannot deny it. I believe that all of these games are probably going to come over to the PlayStation 5 at some point in time. I don't think all of them are going to come day and date. I think some of them will come day and date. I think generally we can look at maybe a 6-month window if we're judging it off of Indiana Jones. And honestly, a 6-month window would still garner a lot of sales because gamers can wait 6 months for a game, especially if it's a game that's not regularly on their platform. And the people that are on the platform, they have an advantage because you get to play the game early. You have it before other platforms. If you're a Game Pass subscriber, it's included in your subscription. So I think we just have to accept that this is what it's going to be in the future going forward with Xbox. And for all you guys out there that are mad at me because I'm playing on PC, you can stop being mad at me now. Now you understand they're going to put their games everywhere. So I'm just going to play my Xbox games in the best way that I can, and that is on my PC. I'm not abandoning the Xbox platform, but it's really crappy what they've done to the console, to the base. And not everybody is going to want to move up to PC. Not everybody's going to want to switch over to a PlayStation 5 Pro. And the PlayStation 5 Pro, it's going to play these Xbox games better. There's so much salt being rubbed in the wounds. So, it is what it is at this point. I don't think we need to talk about it anymore. Xbox is a third party developer, a third party publisher. Their games are going to go on every platform. I don't think all of the games are going to go day and date. Some of them are going to have like a little exclusive window, but eventually it just makes sense for them to bring all their games to these platforms. They want to make money, so it is what it is. You're telling me that a Halo game on PlayStation wouldn't sell gangbuster numbers? They have 65 million gamers over there on a PlayStation 5 console. That is a lot of gamers that you don't have access to. So just by releasing it on that console, by virtue alone, you're going to make more money. So I get it. And it's the end of an era, and the console war is truly dead. Now, this is usually the part where I say, anyways, I want to know what you guys think about this, but I did kind of put this on my X account, and there's a lot of responses in there. So I think we should just go through this a little bit, and then I'll wrap the video up. Now, this is where I kind of lose it because there's so much cope going on. Now, one user says, I'm a console guy. It doesn't affect me one bit. I love Game Pass. I'm not even buying a PlayStation for the first time ever. Now, that wouldn't make sense why you're not buying a PlayStation, because there's games on the PlayStation console that aren't available on Xbox. And then the Xbox games that are on that console are going to go over to the PlayStation. So I don't know what type of cope is going on over there. The PlayStation is running Xbox's own games better on the PlayStation 5, not even the PlayStation 5 Pro, with Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So we'll just leave it there. Obviously on X, it's raw, it's unfiltered. So you're seeing the responses on your screen because, you got to fight fire with fire, right? So another user says, all of these guys are hypocrites, man. And I agree. We've been saying that this is what is going to happen, that, stop coping. And everyone's like, no, it's not happening. And, I don't want to regurgitate it again, but, we told you so. This is what's happening. Look how many people got mad at Tim Dog when he said it. He rang the alarm first. He rang the alarm early. He said, all the games are coming. And at that point in time, I was like, nah, Tim, I think a lot more are going to come than we actually expect, but I don't think they're all going to come. And I truly believe that. Microsoft said, these games are coming out to the PlayStation console, these 4 games, but that doesn't mean that Indiana Jones and yada yada is coming out. Boom. I think he said Starfield. Then boom, Indiana Jones announced for the PlayStation 5. Oh, we just brought that game. Doesn't mean that every game is going to come. Now we get an interview with Phil Spencer saying there's no red line. It's way too early to see if Halo is going to go on the PlayStation 5. That's crazy. So if you still believe at this point that Microsoft is not going to bring all of their games over to the PlayStation 5, then I don't know what to say to you. The only thing I can say is that I don't think all of them are going to be day and date. They're going to have some type of exclusive window on the Xbox platform, because if not, they would really completely piss off the core. So I don't think they're that stupid or slow that they would make such a dumb decision to bring the majority of their exclusives over to the PlayStation platform without some type of exclusivity period on the Xbox platform. So that's the only good thing I can say that Xbox fans can hang on to, is that, hey, we get to play it early and we get to play it in our Game Pass service. But Microsoft, once again, is now a third-party publisher, a third-party developer that makes console hardware also. Anyways, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like I usually say, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.